guys, welcome back to my channel, Ticcing Together. As always, the goal of this channel is to provide education about and to raise awareness as to what it's like living with Tourette syndrome. What was that? Carly, you good? So I just finished watching Billie Eilish's new documentary on Apple TV+. The world is a little blurry, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it real quick in reference to the whole Tourette's idea and tics. So it came out a while ago that Billie Eilish has Tourette syndrome. I'm sure all of you guys know that by now, but I just wanted to talk about a few key moments in this documentary which I found were so emotional for me, and the whole documentary was so well done, and I have so much more respect for Billie Eilish, and I already had like top tier respect, so this is just like, what? But I wanted to talk about, like I said, a few key scenes regarding her tics because I just feel like it needs to be addressed and talked about. And I just wanted to address these because I think it's important to acknowledge, and the fact that Billie is sharing her life in this documentary and showing the vulnerable sides, especially the sides about tics, because girl, I got you. I know exactly what you're going through in that regard. And so the most emotional part of the documentary for me was when Billie was being forced by her kind of label to meet all of these, she called them randos or like random people, who she didn't know who they were, and they were just wanting pictures with her and all that jazz. And these people, like, they were part of her label or something, or just influential people in the world of fame, I don't know. But they wanted pictures, they wanted to talk to her, and meanwhile, in the scene in the documentary, Billie Eilish is clearly ticking, and you can clearly see she's so overwhelmed. And of course, like, she has so much on her plate, and I couldn't imagine. But during this scene, Billie was being forced to meet people, and she was having a lot of tics on the side. And it just honestly broke my heart. Like, I can't even imagine being in the limelight, like being a huge public figure and feeling like you have to suppress, because from what I've seen in interviews and just what I've read, Billie Eilish sometimes suppresses her tics when doing interviews or when in the public eye. And as someone who also lives with Tourette Syndrome and Tics, like, I can't even begin to tell you how hard and draining that is. And on top of having the whole world watching you, I feel that scene literally made me cry. I was broken for her because I know what it's like to have a tic attack in public and when you're so overwhelmed. And the fact that she was not being forced, but she was expected to go and see these people and interact with them in a moment of extreme vulnerability. Like, it just, out of the whole documentary, I loved the whole thing, but that moment stuck with me so hard because I just want you guys out there to know, if you're watching my channel just to see the review of this documentary, or if you're watching it to gain knowledge about Tourette Syndrome and Tics, either way, I just want you guys to know that it is hard to deal with. And the fact that Billie has done so well and been so graceful surrounding her diagnosis, and the fact that Billie has done so well suppressing her tics, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but the fact that she's not seen ticking so much, like, I wish the stigma was lessened so she wouldn't have to suppress, because, obviously I can't speak for her, but as someone with Tourette's and tics, I just feel like the world should just be accepting. And I find it really kind of profound how the title of her documentary is "The World's a Little Blurry." And if you really think about that, like, I know I'm spinning this whole thing about Tourette Syndrome and Tics, but that's my channel. I feel like in regard to important things in society, the world kind of turns a blind eye and it's blurry. And so the fact that Billie has to hide these tics, and in that heartbreaking scene when she was clearly ticking and not wanting to meet these people, I feel so, like, I'm broken for her that she has to deal with that, because as someone who just lives a normal life, having to suppress tics as hard as it is, but imagine being a huge public figure. Like, I know Billie will never see this, but I'm so inspired by her, and I wish she could know how much she's done for the Tourette Syndrome community, even without inherently addressing it very often. Like, just the fact that she deals with it, I I feel closer to like being accepted because so many people love her. She's amazing, and you know, I got rice. And wow, and I'm so grateful. And if you guys are gonna watch the documentary, if you've already watched the documentary, you're gonna love it either way. But just like make sure when you're watching that one scene to really think and be like, dang, she's literally like, okay, I have videos on suppression. I will link them up there. If you don't want to watch them, whatever. But the gist of it is that suppression takes up literally every ounce of your being and concentration and all of your thoughts. It's like, hello, wow. It's like, I got rice. It's like when you are trying to suppress your tics, it's all you can focus on. And so the fact she manages to do so well in interviews and in the public eye, and the fact she was so vulnerable to show in this documentary, like, yeah, I still have tics and I'm still human, like, I love her so much. And I just wish she knew, again, even though she hasn't inherently said like a lot of stuff about Tourette's. Like in the documentary, there wasn't a lot about it. And even though she didn't say a lot about it, it still spoke volumes to show like it wasn't the main focus of her life, and she can still be like the most famous person ever dealing with it. And it's just really, really amazing to see someone like you, not saying I'm like her because she's amazing, but someone who you relate to in the Tourette kind of field doing so well. It gives me hope that the world is getting better, and maybe it won't be blurry forever. But I know this isn't like a full review of the documentary. I'm not gonna do that, but the whole thing was just lovely, and I was just broken for her because her lyrics, I think she said in the documentary, like, she writes songs that people can relate to, and it's so true. And just the ticking aspect, when she had her tic attack, oh, I got rice, in the documentary, I was just so happy to see that she was being vulnerable and like not hiding it all the time, because hiding it is so hard. It's so hard. So the goal of this video here that I just made is to just say, like, when you're watching the documentary, remember how amazingly brave it is for her to be like showing her tics and her tic attacks, because guys, that's not easy. That is like your most vulnerable side, and I know for me, I'm genuinely so ashamed of it, and I don't know how Billie feels. I don't know, but for the majority of people with Tourette syndrome, we feel a little bit like outcasts and misunderstood. So the fact that she showed her tic attacks in the video was just like, kudos to you, Billie, for being so real, and kudos to the director for doing it so elegantly. Like, it was just really, really well done. And please go watch it. She's totally like a prodigy, honestly. Such an amazing individual, and the fact that she has something that I have makes me feel closer to her in the weirdest way. And I'm honored to be a fan of her. So yes. I know this review was kind of awful, but I just wanted to again make it clear that the tic parts of the documentary are so important to watch, because like, dang, thank you for spreading awareness and normalizing it, Billie. So with all that being said, if you want to stay tuned to my channel for educational content, some of my life stories, comedy, some stuff about Tourette syndrome and tic disorders, please subscribe to my channel, because the goal here is to break the stigma surrounding Tourette syndrome and to let you guys know the real and raw truth about it. And I think Billie is doing a heckin' fine job, so thank you so much. If you liked this video, or if you're gonna go watch Billie's documentary, please give this a thumbs up and leave a comment down below saying hi, telling me what you want to see in future videos, or letting me know if you have Tourette's, if you're a fan of Billie Eilish, or just saying hi. As always, guys, we're learning together. Hi, wow. We're laughing together and we're taking together. Have a wonderful day or night or wherever you are. Bye.